The following program is a Nighthawk Network presentation.
What's good, my people? It's your boy E-Buck, the Nighthawk in the building. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for us to talk sports as we do every week on the show known as the Guru Sports Session. And of course, as always, without a shadow of a doubt, cannot have this discussion without my main man's right here, the sports guru himself, super executive co-producer, Hugh Lee. What's happening?
What's good, man? A lot of stuff about to happen, man. Shit. I mean, I usually
Yeah.
go to curse like that. You already know, man. We got that football on tomorrow, man. I'm all in. I waited all day for this.
Every time of year,
Man.
baby.
And I can't wait to sing that song with you, E. You know, I text you this. Would I text you every Sunday at the time when the games come on at night? I've been waiting all day for Sunday night. I waited so long.
Are you ready for some football?
One thing I didn't like, did you hear the rumor now, man? Well, it ain't no rumor. I was pissed to hear this, man. Remember when we watch NFL Red Zone, what did Scott Hansen normally say before the show really airs, E?
I don't recall.
We about to have a 7-hour window of nonstop football. You know those bastards putting commercials in the Red Zone now, E? Did you hear about that?
It makes sense.
I said, dang.
For the love of money, my brother. For the love of money.
One of my boys, he came from Britain, and he was telling me that when they do soccer and stuff, man, they'll just show the advertisement of the actual, like, Dr. Pepper or whatever's going to be on. They, like, flash them. They don't show the commercials.
Yeah, they do it like they used to do back in the day.
Yeah,
when
like,
no
man,
commercials. You go to the booth, and the booth will have it like, yeah, check this out.
I'm not feeling this whole commercial hookup, E. I was pissed to hear that today.
Look, man, in order for them to make the streaming thing work, they gonna have to do the sponsorships. The sponsorships call for them commercials. It's plain and simple.
Especially with the merger and everything about to be on hand too. You know, that still didn't happen quite yet. So we waiting for all that to happen.
Now, before we get into the meat of the show, and yes, we're gonna talk mostly football today, y'all.
Yeah, let's get down
first
to
and foremost, Hugh, this ain't the only thing going on right now. Okay.
There's a lot going on, brother.
And we're going to talk about a little bit of it at the end. But right now, you do know next week, start training camp for the NHL. Do you give a damn?
I usually don't pay no attention, E, but I know the playoffs this year just passed was pretty exciting, man. So many overtime comeback and victories. And it was so many points scored, something we rarely see. I remember one time it was a score like 4-0, and it was a comeback and a victory. And we don't really see that much scoring over there, man. But I probably won't be as dialed in, but I definitely will be keeping my eye out on some of the things that's going on over there, man. Because unfortunately, with my man's Ovechkin, man, it wasn't really it was a big deal, of course, but by it not being a person from the States, people wasn't really dialed in.
I got him. What you just say?
Alex Ovechkin.
No, what did you say about him?
They wasn't really dialed in on his
No.
accomplishments
Why did you say people wasn't dialed in?
because he wasn't from the States.
There you go. Now hold that thought. That's all the hockey talk we're doing today, folks. Here's the thing. We talking baseball right now. We got this little thing that I've been looking into. I've been doing some research because not only do I love my baseball, I'm a bit of a historian, okay? And I've been trying to figure out why the hell baseball ain't quite hitting the way it need to be hitting right now.
Mhm.
Because, yes, football season starting all that, and yeah, that's a beautiful thing. But right now, talking heads ain't talking about no baseball.
At
None.
all.
Zip, zero. It's damn near playoff time. Usually they sprinkle in a little baseball this time of year. I mean, of course they will when playoffs get here, but for right now, it's all football. And you know why? Because baseball is not on its job. Let me explain. First and foremost, I need baseball to get past its prejudices. In other words, Pete Rose, put him in now. Right now, today. The steroid people, get over it. Damn near half the league was doing steroids. It wasn't just these people. They
Yeah.
still had to make the hits. They still had to make the pitches, okay? Put the asterisk, do whatever you need to do. Get them a different colored bus. However y'all need to make that seem all right. Baseball writers, you old bastards, get over yourself. Put them damn people in, okay? First of all. Second of all, baseball has a bigger issue.
Mhm.
The bigger issue is this, Hugh. Let me talk to you on a stat-based program here. Right now, the team with the best record in all of baseball is who, Hugh? You know this.
The Brew Crew.
That's right. Do you know that team only has 85 wins, okay? It's about 22 games left in the season. What is the likelihood that they go 15-7 and win 100 games?
Rare.
That being said, if they do, they will probably be the only team that do. Who has the best record in the American League right now?
Detroit Tigers.
That is correct. And they have only won 81 games. So, in order for them to get to 100 wins,
You got to go
out
on
of
the
these 20, they basically got to go 19-3. That ain't happening.
No.
They still got to play the Yankees, the Red Sox. It ain't happening, okay?
No.
It's not. So, that being said, there will be no 100-game winner, which basically says that there is no truly dominant team
No.
in baseball this year. That includes the Dodgers, who have a worse record than either one of those two teams we just mentioned, but will make the playoffs. That being said, any team that wins 90 games this season in baseball is more than likely in the playoffs, considering that we have not only the 3 division winners, but we also got 3 wild cards in each league. So based upon that, any team that win 90, they probably in. So all you Tiger fans, calm the hell down. They only need 9 more wins to get in. We got the White Sox for 3. Okay. We got the Guardians for 6 more games. Between them two alone, we should get most of that. All right. Anyway, moving on. Check this out, y'all. Hugh, you know,
Yes.
one of the favorite subjects we've been talking about baseball-wise, historic-wise lately is a man that we call Mr. Padre. What is his name?
Oh, you said Mr. Padre?
Yes.
Oh, Fernando Tatis?
No. The original Mr. Padre, sir.
Oh,
That
Tony
would be, of
Gwynn.
course, the great
Mr.
Tony Gwynn.
Oh yeah, excuse me for that. I ought to, take a step back for that one. TG the man.
Right.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
one of the main things we talk about is the fact that Tony Gwynn had over 15,000 at-bats and struck out about, less than 500 times, correct?
Like
About
400
450 to be exact.
Mhm.
Understand, let's look at this year, just this year's baseball stats for everybody. Over 650 people have came to the major leagues at some point this year and had an at-bat in the majors, all right? 650 people, all right? Now, Tony Gwynn, for his career, averaged 349 as a batting average. That means in all 20 seasons, he ended up averaging 349. That means some years he hit damn near 390. Some years he hit damn near 350. His lowest year, I think he hit like 311. All right?
And it was a year he supposed to got 400. Remember, they played him, man. In the middle of that season, they cut the season short and they did a strike. So
Absolutely.
yeah, he
That
had a
being
400
said,
season
Hugh,
coming.
out of the 600 plus people that could possibly be eligible for the batting crown, Hugh, how many of them are hitting over 300 right now? Take a guess.
At the least, it's like at least 5%. I don't think it's a lot, man.
You thinking too hard on it. It ain't even 5%. Out of all them 600 players, only 6 people right now are batting over 300 that's eligible for this year's batting crown.
That's sad, man.
And that's in all of baseball.
Yeah.
6 of them.
Some of the people who got the best as far as home run averages or home runs right now is under 300.
You jumping ahead of me, sir. Hold on. Now, out of them 6 players, who has the best batting average in all of baseball right now?
That's a good one. Is it Shohei?
You are incorrect. Shohei is not even hitting 280 right now.
Oh my God. I'm trying to see.
You thinking too hard. What's your team, sir?
Oh, Riley Green?
No, what's your team, sir?
Oh, the Yankees? Oh, so Aaron Judge.
That is correct.
Come on, chill out with that, man. You acting like the Tigers ain't my team, man.
Anyway, man, look. What is his batting average right now? Try 325. 325. That is the best batting average in the league right now.
That ain't my squad, dude.
Okay. Out of all 600 of these players, how many people you think are going to finish this year with 200 hits?
I'm going to say less than 3.
It's probably going to be less than 2. League leader right now has 180 going into today. That means he needs these 20 more hits and about 20 more games. It's possible. So, yeah, we might get 2. All right. Is there anybody remotely close to winning 20 games this year, Hugh?
I'm not really sure. I think
the league leader in wins right now has 16 wins going into today. They probably got another 5 or 6 more starts. So, yeah, it's a maybe. And that person is not Tarek Skubal, by the way. Nor is it
Paul Skeens,
who are the 2 people with the lowest ERA. Now, check this out. Here's what the real problem is. First of all, people ain't hitting. That's what we're saying with this whole 300 thing. But guess what? Didn't we talk about how Tony Gwynn had 453 career strikeouts?
Yeah.
And damn near 20 seasons? Hugh.
People got way more than that.
Guess how many people in the major leagues this season, right now, have over 100 strikeouts?
Damn near the whole league, man. Whoever batters, man.
Over 120 players have over 100 strikeouts just this season. Out of them, at least 5 of them are more likely going to end up with 200 strikeouts, including the lead leader right now. Who's the lead leader in getting struck out?
Is it Shohei?
Wrong again.
Because I know he had over 200 before All-Star game.
No, he did not strike out over 200 times.
Yeah, he was damn near close to 200 before the All-Star game.
Well, he's getting better because he is not the leader, not even close. Let's try one Riley Green, sir.
Okay.
Adding his strikeout today is damn near at 209. And he hitting 270. All right, so there's part of the problem. We ain't getting
hitters anyway.
We ain't getting no quality hitting going on, okay? Yeah, you see them making scores and whatnot. Yeah, it's like 10 people with 40 or more home runs right now. Here's the other problem. The base running, okay? Last person to steal 100 bases in baseball, I believe, was Coleman for the St. Louis Cardinals back in, I want to say, 08? About 25, 26 years ago. Nobody's going to have 75 steals this year, Hugh. Only about 3 or 4 people going to have around 50. And one of them is not Shohei Ohtani, by the way. The only person to hit 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases.
What about Ella Cruz?
He is not going to have 50 home runs. He will have over 50 bases. He is the league leader in stolen bases right now. So part of the problem is the way the game is being played is watered down BS. People ain't trying to watch that. Yeah, they didn't sped up the game with the pitcher clock and all of that. But when you watch most of these games, it's either one or two things. One, you're looking at a game with a lot of people striking out. They hit a few home runs. It ended up being 7-4. It looked like they did something, but most of that game was because most of the teams that are scoring the bigger runs, they're not doing it every inning. They're doing it maybe 2 or 3 innings out of that whole 9. You don't get that problem in basketball. It's constant action. You don't get that problem in football. Constant action, right?
Right.
All right. What do we do to fix this? Plain and simple, y'all.
Cut down the games too. That's
At
one of
some
them.
point, baseball gonna have to go beyond its tradition. I think at some point they're gonna have to say, look, I know we got records and whatnot. Charge it to the game. None of these records getting broken anyway. They're not gonna break the record for most wins, most strikeouts, none of that. Make the 9-inning game a 7-inning game. Plain and simple. When you go to extra innings, damn that, put that person on second. Don't do that. Let them play it out to the 9 innings at that point. If nobody has won in 9 innings, here's what I propose. Home run derby. But no, Hugh. Hear me out. You ain't going to say, well, let me send my best hitter up there to hit the home run. No. Here's what we're going to make it interesting. We're going to bring all the pitchers up in the home run derby. And the first pitcher to hit a home run is that. And then if that next pitcher on the other squad don't hit one, game over. What you think?
I think that'll be pretty interesting, and it'll be a good spin on things because when you have the actual pitchers rather than the hitters who already can hit it out the park, it makes it to the point where if, like, say for instance, we had a game and it was sudden death, and you have like Aaron Judge, or somebody like one of the best players like a Juan Soto hitting a home run, it wouldn't be fair because if they get to hit first, if it's not sudden death, then the game will be over. So by having the pitchers do it, that'll make them focus on doing more as far as getting in the batting cage and working on their craft.
And yeah, people be looking forward to when it's the 9th inning and it's tie game. But that being said, got to have one exception, of course. Shohei, sorry, buddy. You're not allowed to do it. You have to be primarily a pitcher in order to be in that part of the ship. But long story short, the numbers indicate that, yeah, the game is watered down, and that's why we getting the product we getting. And then, of course, the other big problem Hugh just mentioned. Most of our big players in the league, outside of an Aaron Judge, foreign players. Ain't no American love for the foreign players, okay? Yeah, people like Shohei and all that, but I think it would hit better if the real best player in the league right now was an American player, and actually if he had some type of personality, because no disrespect to Aaron Judge, but he kind of corny.
And advertisement is not good. They don't really advertise baseball like that.
Because they don't have good spokespeople for baseball. Because most of the good spokespeople is the people that hit 240 and strike out a lot. The good players, they kind of corny. So yeah, that's why we ain't talking baseball and won't to the playoffs. All right, we can move on to the good part of the show now. Let's talk some of that football.
We're going to talk the NCAA football recap of week 1.
All right, then. What we got?
All right, well, I want to start off with basically getting into it, getting to the nitty gritty, because we only gonna talk about certain games. Some of the games probably wasn't relevant, but I want to start off with some of the better games that we saw week 1.
Okay, well, can I say overall, Hugh, I like week 1 of college football. We did get a lot of games, good, bad, and otherwise. It felt good.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk about the first game, one of the first games to talk about. It was weird that this game came on first, but then I appreciate it because it started the momentum of the whole Saturday game day football. I want to start off with, we already talked about this game a little bit last night too, Texas Longhorns and Ohio State. I want to start off with that game. I felt like it was a really good game. By it being week 1, it was good because the defenses showed up, man. Some of the offenses showed up in some games, but I think on both sides it was a good defensive effort. But it wasn't like they were slinging it like that, man. You know, it was smart on both ends to have the defense dialed up in the way they played. But yeah, man, it wasn't like Ohio State came in and blew them out or anything. It was a good game, but it was still a close one at the very end, and it was pretty interesting because when I look up too. Remember, I was saying they shouldn't have ranked them so low at first, and then now you look at it too, and then it's every time when you overhype Texas, it seems like this happens. No disrespect to them, man, because it was a good game, but every time you put them in the number one spot, things like this happen. But how did you feel about that game? And the end result ended up being 14-7, and the champions won.
He was like that bad grandma that forced you to eat your vegetables first before you eat the meat and stuff. I hate we talking about this game first, but it was the biggest game of the might be the biggest game of the season going into the playoffs, perhaps. We'll see. But look, I am forced to give credit to a team y'all know I don't like. I'm a Michigan man. I hate talking about that team down south. Hugh said I need to get them their respect, so I'm gonna give them their respect, but I refuse to call them that name.
I'm gonna keep calling them that name because it's deserved. For years, I feel like they deserve me and my respect.
I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. This is a Michigan house. We don't cuss in here. Anyway, look, that team from down south, they came with a very good game plan, okay? I like what they did defensively. I hate the fact that defensive plan was thought up by one Matt Patricia, the pencil.
Oh, yeah, the pencil.
And you know how we feel about that dude here in Detroit. Where was that defense that Monday night game against the Jets when you made damn Sam Darnold look like Tom Brady? I'm just saying. Anyway, yeah, they play good defense. Now, that being said, I think both teams were very, very conservative in their play calling offensively, particularly that team down south, because I felt like they should have scored way more than they did. Texas had a good defense, but they had the better offense. But they did not play a game where they said, look, we about to try to blow their doors off. We want people to know outright, we the champs and we back and we coming. They did not take advantage of that the way they needed to. A couple plays went a little different. That game might not have went the way of that team down south. 14-7 should not have been the score to that game, okay? That being said, the big loser in this one, obviously, Arch Manning. You know, they were hyping this dude up all summer. He played in that game, and he did not look good. Gotta be honest. Based on that performance alone, that dude shouldn't be winning nobody's Heisman or be nobody's number one overall pick, okay? Will we see better from Arch? Absolutely. He got 3 games coming up against some cupcakes, some buttercups. His number's going to look way better in week 4 than they did in this week 1. But that being said, these two teams might meet again. Absolutely. And I need him to file all that in his mental Rolodex so that when they come back the next time around, he played for real, for real. And meanwhile, Texas, y'all got work to do. That team down south got a little work to do. Y'all got a lot of work to do. Because I picked you to basically get to that championship game, not the way y'all played. The way that team down south played, yeah, it looked like they could maybe make that run to do a repeat. But y'all,
Weird thing was too that they were number one, and I was telling you, like, man, I just didn't really feel like they deserved that spot.
I said we would really know if they deserved it after this first game.
A lot of teams we said they deserved what they deserved. And let's get this bandage off right now, man. Alabama versus Florida State.
Here we go.
I want to talk about that game.
Here we go.
I felt like they were very stagnant. And I looked at them and I said, it's not the same Alabama team, and it wasn't going to be that same Alabama team that they have before in the past. But at the same time, you'd have thought they would have played better than what they did. They just looked like they was off, man. They wasn't even in sync. But you got to give credit where credit is due because Florida State punched them boys in the mouth. And they felt like when all the disrespect, because everybody already had them counted out that game at home. So they went in and they had to prove a point, and they did just that, man. And that final score, that 31-17, that spoke volumes to me.
Florida State been disrespected ever since they
For the last 3 years,
They realized we in the ACC and we really shouldn't be. We all know Florida State should be that team in the SEC, not Florida. Truth be told, Florida should be in the ACC. But anyway, when it comes to certain teams, it's not hard to get your team up to play them. And then with all the talk that went back and forth, oh yeah, they was hyped up to play. And again, familiarity breeds contempt. Gus Malzahn, defensive coordinator for Florida State. What team did he coach before?
I don't know, E. You tell me.
This was a team called Auburn.
That's where the hate came from. That's why I love that game. You can see the passion in my man's, coming from Auburn.
I love that game for two reasons. One, that crowd was hyped. They was ready for Bama.
That's a cuss word from my crib, man. You know that team, but
yeah, understood. And two, this is not your father's or your brother's Alabama squad. Mm-hmm. And trust me, I done heard enough talk radio this week, particularly that Paul Feinbaum show. Bama fan is pissed. Pissed. They about ready for a coaching change already.
And let me interject.
Some of them is that mad.
I want to interject on this one too. Who usually be the person that texts you and just be real disrespectful when things like that happen?
Yeah, you was real quiet on the text on that one.
I didn't look at it like that this year, man. After seeing how they basically been doing it, then, I looked and I said, well, man, you know what? Like you said, I had to embrace that. After last year, I said they didn't play that bad, but it's not the same team. Again, we looked up, too, and some of those guys are playing on these NFL teams right now, too.
And some of them other guys is playing on other people's squads.
From the transfer portal.
Absolutely.
So that's what I looked at it, and I said, man, that changed the complexity of the game, and it makes kind of the teams who got the money make it more of an even playing field, E.
Very much so.
Don't look at me crazy when I say this, because like I said, you ain't hear me texting, bad mouthing, and dogging out Caleb DeBoer or anything. Nick Saban didn't come in with that type of, punch people in the mouth attitude when he came. He had a rough start, man. People don't look at it like that, E. Caleb DeBoer, man, I'm really surprised, man, that I actually felt this way after this game without throwing salt in the wound or, talking bad like I normally do because, I got a potty mouth when it comes to them in that brand. I feel like they need to let that guy do his job, man, go out there and figure out what he need to do with that brand right now. Yeah, I feel like right now his clock is ticking. But I still feel like they need to figure some things out, man, because it didn't look good for them. That didn't look good at all.
That defense ain't quite as good as we used
to. Not at all.
That's problem one. Problem two.
Yes,
Ty Simpson been in the program ever, okay? He was the backup for Milroe. He was the backup for Jones. He been there ever, I tell you. It's a reason why he been the backup. That dude should not be the starter. I know they got something better on that bench to replace him with. Ty Simpson, he did not look good as Alabama's quarterback.
Remember last year when when they had Nick Saban when he benched Milroe and Simpson came in, man, those guys looked so bad that you was like, man, you had no choice but to put Jalen Milroe back in. I know they can do better at quarterback because they've been overhyping him this whole season. Even talking about his name in Heisman talks, I wasn't buying it. And it's crazy, too, because a lot of the players on the team, and we talked about this before, that's why we wasn't saying all these players and specific people we know. We starting to learn a lot of these dudes again, man, because the turnovers, man. Because I've seen a few people from Alabama and Florida State. I've seen some of them on the Michigan team. I've seen them all around the league.
They got a couple at Colorado. They got a couple at Miami.
It's a lot of guys is in that transfer portal, man, because if they look at it now, it ain't like the old days. If I don't start, I can go somewhere I could start, man, and make a hell of a lot of money doing it. I don't have to wait for nobody.
And make a bigger impact. Like I said, we'll get to that. But yeah, Bama, it's gonna be a long season from y'all standard standpoint. You still gonna make it to somebody's bowl, but
I
in
don't think
terms
they're
of
gonna be in no
playoffs,
playoff talk though.
I don't think we're gonna be seeing y'all in the playoffs
No time soon.
Unless y'all look up on some of these games in the SEC.
Yeah, unless they have a miracle season, which I doubt is going to be.
These next few weeks I ain't worried about because y'all playing cupcakes as y'all usually do this time of year. But
they going to have some growing pains, Ian. That's why I wasn't tripping out. I ain't talking nasty to you or nothing, man, because remember, we talked about, before we even talked about college football, I said, man, you know a lot of these dudes, man. And, I normally be up on them dudes, man, but it's a lot of teams I don't know a lot of these guys, man, and I'm trying to know all over again, man. And it's been one of them years where I still feel like people want them to do better, and they're going to give him a hard time. But yeah, man, I'm not even sweating that team because, like we said, what did we say last week? We didn't think that they should even been ranked as high as they was. Where they at right now?
And I meant it.
And where they at right now?
Well, let's look at
where they might be. But I don't think it's gonna be for that long, man.
This is this week's week 2 poll. Y'all see for yourself where some of these teams is as we talk about. You see right there, Alabama is down to 21. Texas is down to 7.
But what's that number 2 team, E?
Yeah, we might as well talk about them next. Why not?
Yeah, man, I look at them, man, E, like every year, man. They always be world beaters, E. But what they do when you really need them to be the world beaters that we think they are.
In the clutch. That is the story. That being said, it is several future NFL players on that Penn State squad. I did see a lot of stuff that I liked in that game. Not that I watched much of it because it wasn't much to watch. I mean, it was a rout, and it should have been.
I like their defense again, too.
They weren't even supposed to be on the same field together. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I like Danny Dennis Sutton, man. That's a crazy name. He got like 3 first names, but that defensive end was he was a force, man. But then their defense usually have good players, man. But,
right, and they got a couple good running backs on that Penn State
squad. Man. I definitely like both of the running backs, man. But I like the kid on the Allen kid, though, man. I thought that Kaytron Allen was one of the dynamic players too that started the whole, beat down because they was just running the ball down their mouth. And I mean, of course, you expect that because they play in Nevada.
Right. Still, I mean, I said, offensively, they ain't do nothing that was a recreation of the wheel by any stretch. But
they came out there on business.
Defensively is what impressed me. Because even though they did play a Nevada team that probably had no business being there, they played them very well. That defense looked real good. The question is, like we said, what will it look like against the real teams on their schedule?
Hey, let's talk about that team that night game, man. Damn, that was a good game too, man. I was surprised that Clemson was over LSU though, man. As far as the rankings, I thought LSU should have been higher. Like we've been saying too, last week we think either it was going to be LSU or Georgia, which I'm starting to think it might just be LSU, the best team in the SEC, man. That's just me saying right now. I might be wrong, but I doubt it. They came out there a little sluggish at first, and you was like, damn, what's going on? Is Clemson really that good? You got to give credit, man. That dude went in the portal now, man. And they are pretty good.
They are.
But still, LSU really showed themselves, man. And them dudes played pretty good, man. Definitely to come back and to play the way that they did, too, man, because it was a defensive struggle at some point. But, yeah, the offense came in the clutch, man. And those wide receivers, man, we've been calling them wide receiver U. So, yeah, that definitely didn't surprise me.
No, LSU came with that chip on their shoulder, bruh. Like, look, I'm tired of people talking about my coach, Brian Kelly, and how he ain't quite ready for prime time and whatnot. This is a very important year in that program.
Yeah,
because if they don't make the playoffs, he probably up out of there.
Yeah, they spent some money this year too. That Brian Kelly
did spend a nice amount of money in that NIL, and they expect big results, and that's what they got in that game. As far as Clemson go, don't count them out. I
No,
still see them being a playoff team. They
yeah, for
represented
sure.
themselves okay. It's just they ran into an LSU team that was on a
On the
mission.
mission. Them boys is on the mission, E.
Absolutely.
All right, man. I want to talk about another game. Do you think that Miami is fully back? Damn, they played really good, man. That catch. Again, Carson Beck, I think he threw it a little too far, but my man saved him with that one-hand catch. That was incredible. And that started off the game for me, man. When I seen that catch, I was dialed in after that.
Somewhere watching that game was a dude named Quinn Ewers, and he probably kicking himself all upside the forehead.
He could have got that money to go there.
That was your money, sir,
Uh-huh.
that Carson Beck got to play in Miami. And you see now, they got a pretty good team.
Dude,
Might have been even a little bit better with you. But that being said, Carson Beck, you definitely like a very smart man right now.
Absolutely.
You hit yourself to a very good squad. And that kid Daniels from Miami, another transfer portal baby, yeah, he gonna play on Sundays. No doubt about it. That dude got skills.
It was cool to see a lot of the stuff that went on too, man.
Yeah, but like I said, Notre Dame, don't sleep on them. As I said, Notre Dame is still in the playoffs until they ain't. This game did not take them.
Came back and won that game. They almost caught them slipping, man, because
this game did not take them out of playoff contention by any means.
Because they basically had a nice little stranglehold on, Notre Dame, and then they just had a hiccup, and Notre Dame kept punching them in the mouth, man. They made it closer. When they got that stop, though, basically it was like we all knew at the end of this game, whoever had the ball last was going to win, and it just so happened to be Miami. But it's cool to see that them getting that culture back down there, man. We seen Michael Irvin, Ray Lewis, and we seen a lot of their influence guys on the sideline, man.
And again, like I said, college football is a beautiful thing when done correctly. That Miami crowd, ooh, baby, they was ready. They knew their assignment.
You know what was actually a good game, man, that people were slipping on too, man? That number 13 South Carolina and Virginia Tech. It was just Virginia Tech couldn't score, man, but the defense was there. It's just they couldn't score, and they didn't have no answer for South Carolina, man.
I'm not surprised South Carolina gonna be decent. Certain SEC schools, you kind of like the direction they headed. South Carolina is one. Ole Miss is another one. I kind of like what I saw from both of them last week.
No respect for your boys, too. Well, I can't say your boys. My boys. Remember, I overhyped this dude last year. You already know who I'm about to say. Avery Johnson, man. I overhyped them dudes. I really was saying, watch out for Kansas State. They really hurt my feelings, man.
Now, didn't we say a couple weeks ago when we did our preview that Kansas State had its way of playing some of these games where it's like, oh, yeah, they about to be really good.
Absolutely.
Then they play them games and be like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this?
Thank you for not kicking me while I was down, man, because I really overhyped them last year. And this year we kind of knew better. But yeah, man, they almost lost to North Dakota. Like, damn, you dudes get no respect for almost losing to North Dakota.
No. None
but
at
besides
all.
that, man, I want to talk about Michigan too, man. We from Michigan, so we got to talk about our squad, man. It was a few hiccups there, man, but then this is a new beginning for us, man. I want to say your thoughts because a few of the things I wasn't too happy about them penalties, man.
Yeah, we got some very bad penalties calling us, especially the targeting penalty, and then the other penalty where his leg was not down. It was a touchdown. They lied on him.
Think about this, man. Do you think they kind of picking on us, man? Because it was like they was nitpicky as hell that game. I'm just saying. Not even trying to
go that far with it. I do want to give credit to the team that came to play us from way across that part of the country.
They had some nice little
they had something in mind for us.
They had some good trick plays.
They wasn't about to just lay down and be like, yeah, we just came to get this money. No, they actually was like, you know what? We kind of want to do what Appalachian State did years ago and put our program on the map. Because we still talk about Appalachian State to this day after that.
Absolutely.
Because to this day, I still say that's the biggest upset in the history of college football, without question. Unfortunately, it was against my team, but But that being said, I'm not overly surprised at what we saw. I said I felt like Michigan was ranked a little too high at the moment.
Yeah.
You see, they got a lot of young players that need to work on some things. I like what I saw from them defensively. It's something to be said for having a defensive coordinator that's been an NFL coach. You see, that didn't work out pretty well for Michigan and that team down south.
Yeah. I definitely feel like still, man, we just got to, cooperate with this team,
Right.
man,
I
and
mean, the
just
whole
let
thing
them build.
about Underwood, I think we didn't see a lot because I don't think we was meant to see a lot. Again, it was a very conservative game plan for them
Pretty
also.
much.
A lot of
Pretty much.
slants, a lot of quick hitters. I think we'll get a better understanding of what that young man is really about in this next week game.
Okay. E, you already know, man. Let's get into it, man. Let's get that monkey off our chest, man. Next week, if you want, we can do a commercial break before we get into week 2, or we can stay here and just go straight through because we still got the NFL and the predictions.
Right.
So
Well, like I said, we can do 2 commercial breaks. We just make a quick one. We will be back. This is
okay.
the Guru Sports Session. Me and Hugh Lee talking some of that good old college football. When we come back, we're going to get into week 2 games, all right?
Hello, hello, hello. It's another glorious day, my T-Sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your comfort together because it's time to dish tea. And your dish tea, darlings, with Big Meat.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat. It's time to dish tea with Big Meat.
Darling.
Yes, sir.
All right, we back. And we are talking college football. We talked about a lot of the marquee matchups for week 1. We're not going to get into week 2. But before that, let's look at the rankings before we start that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. As you see, that team from down south, what's their name, Hugh?
Ohio State. You know
Nasty mouth buzzard. Anyway.
Shout out to my man's Big Mike. I love you, brother.
that team
and
is
Keith. Don't forget about my boy Keith.
Anyway, that
love
team
y'all,
number
brothers.
1 this week, and yeah, they should be. That team, Penn State, is number 2, and they probably should be. I like where LSU is ranked at 3.
Yeah, not mad
Georgia
at that.
might be a little higher than I
Too
would
high,
them.
E.
I think I would put Miami ahead of them.
I would.
Texas, I probably would put where Oregon is at 7, or at 6 instead of 7. Clemson, I like where they got them. Notre Dame, that's about right. Look how far South Carolina went.
Yeah, they balled, man.
I
that
like
defense
that.
was tough, E. Their defense, it was a good game, man. Like I
Right.
said, they just couldn't
Arizona
score on
State
Virginia
really didn't
Tech.
play nobody. They probably shouldn't be ranked this high. Florida ranked a little too high for me.
Yeah.
I think Florida State should be ranked where
Should've been
Illinois is
higher.
ranked at 11. Michigan only moved 1. I ain't really tripping because that's going to resolve itself this week.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa State, I like what they rank. SMU,
Can't
I
never
ain't
count
really
the
see
boys
them.
out, E.
I don't know what to make of that. I ain't really seen them play.
Me neither.
Texas A&M, again, we said before, y'all better not sleep on them. And I love what I'm looking at down here at 24. Texas Tech, sleeper pick, people. Sleeper
Gonna
pick.
shock a lot of people, E.
They
look
spent
like a lot
good
of people.
money to get that team the way they got it right now, and it's going to pay off.
I know why you like that squad, man.
Why do I like Texas Tech?
Because when you look at Texas Tech, you think about Patrick Mahomes.
No, actually, when I think about Texas Tech, I think about a young lady named Cheryl Swoops. The second most famous alumni athlete. Hall of Famer Cheryl Swoops.
Why he do your boy Raiola like that, man, when he dipped early, man, and that game with Nebraska.
Man, you know you his hero. You ain't got to do him like that.
And I'm gonna have to highlight you too, E man. If you didn't hear some news when we get into NFL, man, you hit this one on the nose. I felt a little nauseated when I heard the news, but yeah, I'm gonna talk to you about it in a minute.
Right. But yeah, another interesting thing might come up in the NFL this season. We're gonna talk about it when we get there. But anyway, long story short, people, that week one, if I was to grade the whole week for college football, I give it a strong B.
I was happy, man.
Strong B.
And saying me being happy too was really weird, man. But I love how things change. I love how the game was played. And it was just really good because you start to see, from the beginning, even though this is now why they have a playoff, because losing one game won't hurt you. Remember last
Yeah.
year, Notre Dame lost that game. We was like, man, who's this
Yeah,
team
if this
that
was
lost
back in
to?
the original playoff format, that game against the team down south of Texas, that would have been bad. That
That would have
team,
been it.
Miami, Notre Dame would have been bad.
Clemson
Alabama,
game would
Florida
have been
State would
bad.
have been
So
bad. So yeah, now that we got a shot to lose a couple and still make it, it's all to the good.
it ain't gonna be the same way this week too, man. Man, God, when I say it's not gonna be a lot, I
It's gonna
really
be
could be
a lot of them type
talking
of
about.
games, y'all. Just so y'all know.
Absolutely. I seen that Iowa State game, and I said, okay, that might have a little bit more to it than
It
what we
always
get.
usually hit a little good. That Iowa State.
Absolutely. But when I see everything else, man, it's bad, man. But then let's talk about that. The team down south playing Grambling. Did you see what happened in the back and forth that they was making fun of Grambling and was like, these dudes are like they a high school team, man. They don't even look like they should be playing in the collegiate level, man. I want to tell you right now, man, I'm looking at everything and I'm trying to see what what they have them as. I don't even know as far as the how much they have them as the favor, but I know that they said that it's 99% chance that Ohio State go win this game.
They're not losing that game, y'all. As much as I would love for that to happen and they get embarrassed ass, because I do believe that game is in the horseshoe, it ain't happening. Accept y'all money for coming up here to play, take y'all butt whooping like men, and go on back down to the Grambling.
I got them as a 35-point favorite. That's just me saying that.
I mean, come on now. Don't even be surprised if early on Grambling mess around and get a 3-0 lead or something like that, and then we look up and it's 38-3 that team. I mean, it looked like one of them types of games.
It was very like Texan for me over last weekend on Saturday, man, because it was on and popping, man. But this week you're gonna get more heavy traffic on me, Texan, man. Just kick it in and see how you doing regardless, man, and everything. And because when you see Clemson versus Troy, man, it's like that speak volumes. Like, man, I don't want to see this week really, actually. Let's get into it, and let's go ahead and just get straight down to the nitty gritty because we don't really have to talk too much about week 2. Let's talk about number 15, Michigan against Oklahoma.
That is the game of the week, y'all. Prime time and all. Going down there to Oklahoma, no less. So I expect a very raucous crowd down there. Did a weather check. Weather's going to be very nice for that evening. Michigan's first away game for the season. Underwood's first away game for his career. Let's see what we got, okay? Understand, like I said, last week we played a very vanilla-ass offense. I think they will definitely open up the playbook a little more this week. Expect us to start out the game as we usually do at Michigan, running the ball. But if it ain't effective, expect them to start airing it out. My whole concern for Michigan this year is not their defense. It's not their offensive line. It's their weapons on the outside. Do we really have any? Based on that first game, I really didn't see much that I liked. Samara Morgan's supposed to be their number one, and I'm not overly impressed with that young man. They always keep a decent tight end, so expect a lot of throws to the tight end as usual. But yeah, I think we get to see what kind of weapons, because we did get some of those guys out the transfer portal. Let's see what they do this week, and what arguably will probably be the toughest game we play before we get to that team down south at the end of the year.
They have us as a 5-point underdog in this one.
I like that because we're not at home.
Yeah.
I myself, if I was a bet man, I most definitely would take those points and take Michigan to win that bad boy.
You know, I ain't gonna say that they're gonna lose. I'm gonna keep that moving. I definitely had them going for that dub as well.
Yeah, I do expect a close game. I expect it to be a decent scoring game. So let's say 29-24 Michigan.
I wish they really gave us more with this week too. And what I'm seeing too, man, I kind of strolled and looked at a little bit of the week 3 too. That's gonna at least have at least 2 games where it's gonna be teams ranked. But yeah, we're gonna be going through some growing pains after that first week. And I think they wanted to put that out there too for us just to give us some excitement. But as college
Well, understand. I think part of why week 2 is this is because the NFL start this weekend.
yeah,
And
so you can't be
though you
too
got your
mad
college
about that.
fans that's only gonna watch college, but most of your football people, they're gonna pretty much say, yeah, college is bring on that NFL.
Yeah, we've been waiting for a while, man, and it all kicks off tomorrow. So, I definitely dialed in on that. Well, speaking of, man, do you have anything else you want to talk about before we get into, on the NFL?
All right, so let's do a couple bits and pieces, y'all, before we do our NFL picks. I know y'all like that's one of y'all favorite parts that we do every year. And amazingly enough, last year, if you go back and look at our picks, both of us finished well above 500 for our picks. So good job for both of us, bro. We know a little something. But anyway, when we get to that part, we'll make our picks. Y'all type in the comments who y'all got. Anyway, let's talk a quick U.S. Open. Shout out to all the black girl magic
Ooh.
we've been seeing in the U.S. Open this year. A lot of good play from a lot of our ladies in the African American community for tennis. I love it. I definitely liked the match that I saw with Coco Gauff and, of course, Naomi Osaka. She did win that match. Sorry, Coco, not this year for you, but hopefully Naomi can go ahead and win the title again. I would very much like that. And then definitely got to give some respect to the legend herself, Venus Williams, who basically went in the second round for U.S. Open in the singles, but made it all the way to the quarterfinals in the doubles before they lost. So she still got something left in the tank, you.
Yeah, man. You can never count that lady out, man. She in really good shape. She had her little ups and downs like before, she really stopped doing everything once, she got into mommy mode. But yeah, man, I still feel like she got it, man. But like you said, man, I want to
That. I gotta correct that, Hugh. Wrong
Yeah.
Williams, baby. Venus Williams.
Yeah.
Venus not no mommy. Serena's the mommy.
But
And
you
she looks
already
awesome, by the way.
always like Venus though, man. Bet the best. I don't know, man. Maybe that's just the chip she had on her shoulder. But with the Osaka and Coco, man, I was just really surprised, man, but then you got to give respect to Naomi Osaka, man, because remember, she was out. She had issues and stuff that she was battling and to come back and to play just that clean, just because she shut her out both rounds. So I was
Pretty
really
much.
shocked to see that, man. But you got to give respect and you got to always give credit to the heart of a champion. But yeah, I wasn't really watching too much of it, but then to see that and see the replays, man, I was definitely in shock. Yeah, how did you feel about that? How she came out and how strong?
Well, like I said, I very much like how she seems to be not only in a good mental space with her game, but just a good place in her life. Keep in mind, she had the baby. Of course, she had the mental issues that she was dealing with at some point. She, of course, went through kind of a messy breakup with her boyfriend, her baby's father. But now she seems to be past all that and focused on her career and just doing a great job of just playing some quality tennis. And I
Yeah,
look forward to seeing her hopefully make it to that final match in the weekend. I also
Yeah.
got to talk about the young lady Tammy Townsend and what she dealt with this week in terms of that one match where they had the altercation at the end, and she went on to play a couple more rounds and did pretty good in the tournament. So yeah, shout out to her for overcoming that and some of that ignorance that was said by that young lady. I can't even remember her name, but it don't matter. She said some stuff that was just foul, and I just didn't like it. But Tammy kind of rose above all that, rose above the hate and did her thing. So shout out to her.
That makes it even better when you do that. When you go through that and you embrace it, and then that usually be your fuel and persevere.
Absolutely. So yeah, definitely want to shout out the U.S. Open, and then also we got some things going on in terms of the WNBA.
The
Got to talk
playoff.
that for a few minutes. Keep in mind the playoffs start next week. We are about maybe a game or two away from knowing everybody that's going to be in the playoffs in the dub. We'll talk about that more extensively next week when we get to the playoffs. But gotta be said, Hugh, the second half story of the second half is the Aces and Asia Wilson. They on that next level right now.
Man, we just counted them chicks out, man. They kept that receipt. We would say they could just get rid of that whole squad besides Asia, man, and everybody stepped their game up. They went on like what was how many games they
They
won?
won like
12,
13 out of the last
Yeah,
14,
that's
man. They
crazy.
went all the way from 8th place to
To
second
second.
place. It's crazy. And right now, like I said, Asia, she on a mission from gold.
And we talked about that too, man. Some of them 30-point games saved them on some of them wins. She had that whole team on her back, man.
Understand,
Sure.
she has more 30-point games than anybody in the league. And I'm talking about double as many 30-point games as anybody in the league. That's crazy work. She is about to be the only WNBA player in history to have 2 1,000-point seasons. That is nuts.
And then we had a triple double queen. And Alicia
Yeah,
Thomas, man. There's been a lot of good things been going
Oh
on.
yeah.
Man. It's
Definitely
been
like what
for
I've been
the
seeing from Paige Beckers, although, Dallas ain't really played that great, but she has
Yeah.
definitely played some good ball.
I was
And-
disappointed that she didn't get the double digit game one of those games too. And I think now
Right.
Sonia Centron on the record with the doubles now.
Right. And Toronto and Portland, I hope y'all paying attention for next year when you get your franchises started, because you need to see what they got going on over there at Golden State with the Valkyries.
And what
They are
do.
doing some great stuff. Not only are they getting the best crowds in the W, and when I say you watch a Valkyrie game, it's on a whole different level than any other team in the league right now. Them crowds be hyped in Ball Holla. I love that name, Ball Holla.
Nobody expected them to be this good, man.
I know I didn't.
We was looking at like they might be one of the worst teams, and they will build from that. But nah, man, they proved everybody wrong, man. They came out swinging, and they've been playing against some of the better teams and winning a lot of games against some of the better teams. They haven't been
Right.
playing
So
a
much
lot
so
of
that
teams.
with this next win, they will actually clinch a playoff spot
And
for
it's
their
well
first time in
deserved.
history in their first season. Only
Well
one other
deserved.
expansion team has ever done that.
What team is that, E?
Darn. I want to say it was Sacramento Monarchs.
Mm.
No, I'm wrong. It's actually the Minnesota Lynx. They were the only other team to make the playoffs in their first season.
That's crazy. I'm looking at them right now as a sure thing too, E, man. Last year we didn't think that they was going to be that good, and like we said, it was a little controversy at the end of that championship game, man. But this year, I think that they're in their bag and they was feeling some kind of way. I wouldn't be surprised if they hoist the trophy this season.
It's definitely going to be a good playoff. It's just unfortunate that the league, in terms of the numbers, has kind of fell down this year, and the main reason is because basically the face of the league, she actually has not played most of the season. I'm kind of shocked that went that way.
What is
I'm
going
really
on with
starting
that?
to wonder just how bad that injury is.
That's
with,
what I thought. That's what I thought. I said she must be hurt worse than we expect because
Right.
we haven't seen her in this amount of time. When at first, when it was the All-Star game, we understand if she's trying to, relax and get herself together. Speaking of, we talk about Caitlin Clark, if you don't
Right.
know.
Right.
But I was just surprised, man, for her to sit out this
I mean,
long.
because
That's
she has
what I was
not
saying.
played the second half of the season at
Mhm.
all, y'all.
So
Not
I
one
definitely thought it was more serious, even though they've been holding their own. The Fever's been playing pretty well, but still, man, that's a big part of that team and what they was trying to build.
Yeah, thank God they got Kelsey Mitchell on that squad. She basically didn't put her on her back and say, yeah, we ain't going out like that. Y'all still got me, baby. So,
Yeah, they definitely been playing well.
yeah, but I'm curious to see if we going to see her at all this season.
That's what I'm starting to think, man, because if we can see her now, I'm like, are we even going to see her right now?
Right, and I find it ironic because in the end, remember, part of why they said she didn't play Unrivaled League and whatnot because she wanted to get some rest and get her body right for the season. It don't look like they're playing work too well.
No, not at all. Not at all. It definitely looks like
And
I'm
it's
not gonna say
definitely
it's
costing the
backfiring.
league some money in terms of the revenue because when people go to the games expecting to see Caitlyn and now they know she's not playing, a lot of them people they not buying them tickets and stuff now.
And you can
Even
understand.
the crowds for the Fever ain't been quite what they was last year.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. It's a shame and it's a misfortune. But yeah, I really want to know more. And if she, like you said, like if she even gonna play this second half or even getting into the playoffs, because it seems more than not she will.
Yeah, we shall see,
Believe it.
y'all. But anyway, that is our talk for that. Let's go ahead and take another quick commercial break. When we come on back, it's time for week 1 predictions for the NFL. Get your pens and stuff ready. Get your betting slips. Let's do this.
Long as I wake up in the morning, I'ma get a bag. Get a bag, yeah, I'ma get a bag. Long as I wake up in
He talks sports his way. It's the Guru's perspective. All right, y'all, we are back. This is the Guru Sports Session. I am your boy E-Buck. This is Hugh, the sports guru who I done had in the associate seat all day. My bad, Hugh. I didn't mean to take your spot down. Anyway, we put him back in the front because this is one of our best and favorite sessions of any of these shows is when we give our predictions for the week that is in the NFL. So we got our week 1 predictions. You know how we do it. We basically break down the 2 teams, what that point spread may be, and who we got. So that being said, Hugh, let's have at it, bruh.
Let's start off with the season opener with the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles. They have the Philadelphia Eagles with a 7.5 point favor. I'm going to take those points.
I'm taking the points and Philly. This looks like a game where they may just open up a whole can of whoop ass on the
Absolutely.
Cowboys.
And they don't got
And
nobody to
rightfully
fear.
so. Because right now, based on what they done did these last couple weeks, I feel like they deserve it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely after that, what they did, man. So they don't got nobody really to be worried about right now. So yeah, I definitely have the Eagles in a big win.
Oh, yeah. This could be a route.
Okay, E. So then you got Friday, man. Just in case people don't know, this
It ain't a
game
Friday game,
in
y'all.
NFL is in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and it's going to be on free on YouTube. We just definitely want to put that promotion out there because if y'all didn't know, that you could just go on YouTube, your regular YouTube, no YouTube TV, YouTube, and you can watch this game for free.
Yeah, buddy.
And we got the Kansas City Chiefs playing the Los Angeles Chargers. Who you got in this game, E?
I think y'all going to see a lot of Kansas City Chiefs jerseys out there in Brazil. Because, you know, usually when it comes to those foreign countries where they're not really quite close to the United States, they usually go with the teams that they see the most of. And obviously, since the Chiefs been in the Super Bowl all these years lately, that's probably why you'll get more Chiefs fans there. But that being said, I expect it to be a close game,
Me too.
but I do got the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs by 3.5 points.
I will take that and those points as well.
Okay, now you got the Sunday, September the 7th lineup, and that starts off with one of the 1 o'clock games. And this was going to be pretty fast. Cardinals versus the Saints. I got the Arizona Cardinals, and I got them by 7 points.
The Aints is not winning. I repeat, the Aints is not winning. Cards with ease.
Another easy one, man. Miami Dolphins versus the Indianapolis Colts. And I'm surprised because they got Indiana by 1.5. I'm going to go with the Dolphins, and I'm going to go with them as at least a 5.5 point favorite in this one.
I will take those points, and I'm taking Miami, but don't be surprised this game a little closer than you thought it was going to be. Before we move on, let me mention something that I found out today that made me proud.
What's
Do
up,
you
man?
know, once upon a time, there were no black quarterbacks in the NFL? And then for a few years, it was just maybe one or two. Do you know, starting week 1 this year, half of the teams in the NFL will be starting a black quarterback? What do you
That's
think about that?
impressive.
You?
Definitely loving that, man, because we came a long way. This is to the point where I seen last year it was like 12, 13, and now it's starting to get more, like whereas half of the quarterbacks are going to be black, starting and playing in the NFL and the pros. And that's really just letting you know how far the game has become. And not only do you have just good quarterbacks, people think that when you're a black quarterback, you can scramble, you can run real good. But they're using both now, man. And that changed the complexity of the game. You got your Jaden Daniels, now you have your Lamar Jacksons, etc. Man, you have a lot of them that are dual threats, but really good at throwing the ball and reading defenses and dissecting teams. And it's just really good to see now because we went from just like you said, maybe one or two to having half the league being
Right. And I think that plays also into part of why NFL is king right now in terms of sports. Because think about it. This country is primarily people who don't look like us, okay? But that being said, NFL is pretty much a mixture, much like the country is. You got a lot of black players, you got a lot of white players, you got a few foreign players. It's a good mixture of people. You don't get that in all the other leagues.
No. And the
Most of your
brothers
hockey people are from Canada and whatnot. Most of your baseball players come from other countries down there and whatnot. Basically, this is the best mix out of all of them. So I think that's why, one of the reasons why, at least, it is the most popular sport.
Yeah, man. And plus they advertise real well. Even not only the advertisement,
They do
you
have
get
the
a lot
best.
of it on TV.
They
Get a
do
lot
have
of
the
it
best
on
promotion.
your local TV. So that's one of the main things
And
too.
that is another key point. Because right now, baseball, you only get baseball on Fox. You might get a few games on TBS. Football now, you're going to see football on ABC. You're going to see football on NBC. You're going to see
Fox.
football on CBS. You're going to see
Mhm.
football on Fox. You're going to see football on YouTube. You're going to see football on Peacock. You're going to see football on Prime Video. It's everywhere. You're going to see football on Netflix.
Paramount Plus. Yep.
Paramount Plus. Hell, you're going to see football on Tubi.
Channel 7 too when the ESPN on NFL on
And don't
ESPN.
forget ESPN also. That's correct.
So yeah, man, that's just basically the king. Why they're the king right now. You gotta respect that.
Absolutely.
Man, let's
Bring
hurry
back
up and
the
get
game.
let's pull this one off real fast.
All right.
The Raiders and the Las Vegas Raiders and the New England Patriots. I'm gonna go with the Patriots, and I'll take the 2.5 points.
That got to be the worst game of the week right there.
Mhm.
Call me crazy, but I'm going with the Raiders.
Okay. The Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Jets. I'm gonna go with the Steelers, and I'm gonna go with them. I'm gonna take a 5.5 point favor on that.
I'm going with the Steelers because I think they're going to get to the young quarterback, and he going to be trying to do too much, and that's what's going to cause them to lose.
The Giants and the Commanders. I got the Commanders by 6.5 points. I'll go 7, possibly.
I damn near want to double up that much. Man, I don't know. Them Giants.
They do got a pretty decent defense, but I don't think that's gonna help them.
Good luck.
Carolina Panthers versus the Jaguars. That's another bad game.
I got to go with them Jags, man.
I'm gonna go
I'm
with the
looking
Jags
forward
in
to
the
that game
end.
for one reason. I really want to see how they're going to work this thing out with Mr. Dual Threat himself.
Yeah.
How much is he going to play? How much defense? How much offense? how much will they try to get him the ball? That game is interesting for that reason alone.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely go with them at home with the 3.5. Cincinnati Bengals versus the Cleveland Browns. I'm gonna go with Cincinnati, and I'm gonna take 6.5 points on this one.
Now, here's the thing. If you look at the numbers, you kind of don't want to go Cincinnati because, as you know, these last few years,
They start
Cincinnati
off slow.
always start out the year real bad. But I think this might actually be the year where they fix that problem.
You know why I give them that E? Because remember, they played this preseason finally.
And they did
Remember, they
actually
didn't
play
before.
some of their players. So,
Mhm.
and not to mention the fact, in most of those years we talked about, it was usually some type of health issue with Burrow. Burrow is healthy. He got his receivers. I think they go ahead and do it. Not to mention the fact they play in Cleveland. I think Cleveland going to be a dumpster fire.
This is gonna be a good one, E, at 1 o'clock, man. You got the Buccaneers versus the Falcons at home, but I'm gonna take the Bucks with 1.5 on this one.
I'm going to go with them Falcons. Just a hunch because, any given Sunday, I'm playing that law on that one.
Okay, E, you got the San Francisco 49ers and the Seahawks. I'm going with the Seahawks, and I'm gonna take 3.5 points.
I'm going with the Seahawks as well. A lot of beat up people on that 49er squad.
Receiver core is bad. They banged up, man. They don't really got the same defense. I might be wrong.
Right. Not to mention that game is in Seattle, right?
Yes, sir, it is.
Seattle definitely has one of the better crowds in the NFL. That 12th man will play a part in that game.
Jesus. Tennessee Titans versus the Broncos. I'm gonna go with the Broncos, and this is the biggest point spread of them all. 8.5. I'm taking that though.
It's going to be a very long year
With the
for you Tennessee
Broncos.
Titans fans. We said that already. Of course, we're going to look at that game for two reasons. One, to see what them Broncos look like. But two, see what we got with Cam Ward, man. Good luck, buddy, because you ain't got much to work with there. So it's on you.
And buddy, oh buddy, we got them 425 games popping off. And you have the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. And I know everybody heard the news about the crazy blockbuster trade with Micah Parsons going over to the Packers. And then he signed a 4-year, $188 million deal. They were saying he's supposed to have been banged up and having L4 and L5 issues with his back. But they said now, when I seen it today, he will definitely be playing.
Oh, he definitely playing. We knew that. But I do think that back is a little banged up. Not to mention something very important, or two important things. One, he just got there last week, y'all. He's still learning the playbook. So unless you think he's going to be some type of defensive Einstein, he's not going to play all the packages. It's just plain and simple. So I only think we have to worry about him for half of the game, first of all. Second of all, remember, he did not play preseason, not even in the practices. He just basically stood around and whatnot. So he still got some conditioning issues, I imagine, that's going to come into play as well. So later on in the game, he may not be quite as effective as he is early on in the game. So because of those two reasons, I got to go with my Lions. But I still expect it to be a close game because remember, on our end, we still working with that new offensive line, and we got to see how that's going to play out.
Yeah, I'm going to take the points, the 1.5.
So I'm definitely going Lions, and I'm taking the point.
Houston Texans versus the Los Angeles Rams. It's going to be another good game. They have the Rams by 3.5. I'll take that at home.
How banged up is Matthew?
Mm-hmm.
That is the question.
If Jimmy G playing, I would change that so fast.
If Matthew ain't playing, it's a given. If Matthew is playing, it's under the assumption that Matthew can play. Because I don't see them risking putting him in there and having him get hurt week 1 and missing a significant part of the season with that bad back.
Agree.
That being said, definitely expect them to run the ball quite a bit early on. But I still say they win.
We got that waiting all day for Sunday night game. And when I say, damn, they are not going to disappoint with this game, this should have been the Monday game. That's just my opinion. This is the conference? No, this is the divisional round rematch with the Baltimore Ravens against the Buffalo Bills at home. I'm gonna take them Bills, and I'm gonna take them slightly with the 1.5.
I've been trying to figure out all day who I was going to take with these two teams, and I still ain't decided. So I got to do it this way: heads Buffalo, tails Ravens.
All right, let's see what you got.
Tails it is. Going Ravens.
Okay, that's gonna be a close one too, man. And
I
then,
think it's going to be just that close. Y'all remember that game last year early on between the Chiefs and the Ravens? I think it's going to be that type of game.
yeah, it's gonna be like the last person to get the ball is gonna win it.
Absolutely.
Okay, now you have two division rivals, and I hope they beat the hell out of each other on Monday night. You have the Minnesota Vikings against the Chicago Bears, and I'm gonna take Minnesota with the points. They have them by 1.5, but I'm gonna go with 3.5 points on this one, and I'm going Minnesota.
I'm going Minnesota only because I think it's going to take a few weeks for that offense to properly get installed over there with Chicago. But once they get to clicking, it could be real interesting. That being said, I expect Minnesota to run the ball quite a bit and run a lot of slant type stuff to Jefferson and whatnot. I don't see them playing no high powered offense over there. So I expect it to be a low scoring, close game.
I hope you're right. Please run that ball. Hell, you know I got Aaron Jones as one of my sleepers in my fantasy league, so you do that.
I thought you weren't playing fantasy league, Hugh.
Hey man, I couldn't help it. I had the shakes, man.
Crackhead.
All right. That basically wrap it up too. I see that you had everything and you basically put all the teams and our predictions so we can go back over it next week. And anything else you have to add on to this, E?
No, that's pretty much what I got this week. So at this point, you know what we usually do. Handle your business.
All right, y'all already know what time it is. We're about to wrap it up, but we appreciate everybody and y'all love and support. But first and foremost, y'all can follow me on Instagram as Hoovy. On Facebook, I'm the sports guru to you. I usually just put up my scores and breaking news. And on TikTok, I'm Hugh.Lee6. I usually put up all the highlight reels and promos. And I also put up promos too on Instagram and Facebook. We're trying to get our brand out there, but then we like to give shouts out to all the people who pay attention and have been watching the shows from day one. I can name all of y'all, but I don't want to take up that much time. Y'all know who y'all are. I love y'all. And I just like to say thank you for always chiming in and showing us y'all support.
Okay. One last thing, Hugh. Now,
Mhm.
as you know, we definitely should see young Tay Tay at the Chiefs game.
Yeah.
Real question is, will we see Cardi B at the Patriots game?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that because I have something to kind of talk about then. But speaking of Tay Tay, that's what I wanted to tell you, man. I almost forgot that fast. Lord, I was trying to put that in a box and bury it. Roger Goodell right now was trying to, talk to her since she's been going to the games and stuff, and they've been low-key talking to each other. And yeah, man, it's a possibility she might be at that Super Bowl halftime show. So yeah,
I done told y'all.
He's actually right about that one. He's
I
definitely
done told y'all. It makes perfect sense. She's never done it, and she's the biggest pop star on the planet.
He said he definitely had
Last year's Super Bowl was the most watched Super Bowl ever. Tay Tay will blow that record out the water.
He said he would love to have her, and he said it's basically up to her. And now since, they're engaged, man, I definitely see her being around a lot more of them games. So, yeah, it's definitely warming up. At first, I was saying it was maybe like 60-40. Now I'm thinking it's more like a 75-25 that she will definitely be, doing that halftime show.
I say it's 80-20.
Mhm.
And ideally, she could, of course, do it by herself, but she do have several people that she can have on there with her. Remember, Kendra and her got a song. Her and Ice Spice got a song. Her and Sabrina Carpenter got a song. I mean, her and Selena Gomez. It's a lot of places they could go with her and Ed Sheeran.
And then, you know, we seen her in Ice Spice at the Super Bowl, man. So, you know, you can see a lot of collaborations with her too. That
Absolutely.
will give so much diverse of a fan and a crowd, you know, to just the fan base alone. That'd be pretty interesting.
Right.
But you know me, I don't watch no halftime shows, so it don't matter to me anyway.
Well, you won't be needed if she is the halftime performer. Like I said, it'll be several of y'all that's gonna check out, but it's gonna be a lot of other people that check in just for that. Just for that. That would be a huge win for the NFL.
Absolutely. They better
And
play
they
their
really
cards
don't
right
need
and
it.
do that.
But yeah, they could parlay that into some big money. Not to mention what Super Bowl was in California this year. I mean, Tay Tay gonna be the halftime show. You know what the ticket price is gonna be like, my man?
Oh, yeah, it's going to be crazy.
And they will pay
Oh, absolutely.
for a once in a lifetime performance. Absolutely.
Let's definitely see where that go too, man. I'm interested
Yep.
to see what they're going to do there.
So we'll keep y'all posted, man. But anyway, that is it. That's what we got. Until next week, good people. Be blessed. Don't stress. Remember, when all else fails, put your hands to the man. Let him do the rest. Because Lord knows right now, we could use some of y'all prayers. So pray
Absolutely.
for us both, please. Till next week, we up out of here.